Welcome to The Last of Us verse. During the production of The Last of Us, Dark Horse Comics approached Neil Druckmann with the idea of producing a tie-in comic book for the game. That's why issue 1 and 2 published before the game was released. The comics serve as a prequel to the game, chronicling the journey of the young Ellie and her meeting with another young survivor, Riley Abel. The first game follows the story of Joel and Ellie as they work together to survive their journey across the remains of the country to find a possible cure for a modern-day fungal plague that nearly wiped out the entire human race. The Last of Us is played from a third-person perspective. Players use firearms, improvised weapons, and stealth to defend against hostile humans and cannibalistic creatures infected by a mutated fungus. American Dreams was published monthly by Dark Horse from April to July 2013 and was released in a trade paperback format on October 30, 2013. On June 9, 2022, it was announced that all 4 issues would be included in the Firefly edition of The Last of Us Part 1. Left Behind tells the story of Ellie and Riley, and acts as a prequel to The Last of Us. The game switches between 2 stories. The first, set 3 weeks before the events of The Last of Us, follows Ellie as she spends time with Riley in an abandoned mall in Boston. The second focuses on Ellie's attempts to scour an abandoned mall in Colorado for medical supplies to heal Joel while dealing with enemies. Remastered version of the first game released a year later. After 7 years, the sequel of the first game was released in 2020. Set 4 years after the first game, the game focuses on 2 playable characters in a post-apocalyptic United States whose lives intertwine: Ellie, who sets out in revenge for a murder, and Abby, a soldier who becomes involved in a conflict between her militia and a religious cult. Remake version of the first game released 9 years later. This game also features standalone expansion of Left Behind. In the live-action series, Joel Miller played by Pedro Pascal and Ellie played by Bella Ramsey. The series is set 20 years into a pandemic caused by a mass fungal infection, which causes its hosts to transform into zombie-like creatures and collapses society. The first season, based on the first game, follows Joel, a smuggler tasked with escorting the immune teenager Ellie across a post-apocalyptic United States. Remastered version of the Part 2 game released 3 years later. HBO renewed a second season less than 2 weeks after the series premiere. The second season, based on The Last of Us Part 2, follows Joel and Ellie 5 years after the events of the first season, after they have settled into Jackson, Wyoming, with Joel's brother Tommy and Ellie's friends Dina and Jesse. Let me know if I'm missing some details and feel free to comment here. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe this channel.